Hello and welcome to LEGO Wars. Tonight sees the dawn of a new series with 16 LEGO machines taking part for brick-related glory. We kick off the championship with the first half of our round of 16, so without further ado, let's introduce tonight's bots.
First, from Great Yarmouth in Norfolk, Sweepy.
The only walker in the field, Sweepy will aim to batter the opposition into submission with its massive overhead bar.
From Hornchurch in Essex, King B Cubed.
A classic four-wheel drive box design, King B Cubed is armed with a pair of lifting forks to control the fight.
From Derby, Nalego.
The wide-eyed Nalego joins us tonight with its barbed bonker to cleave opposition in two.
From Northampton, Whitehall.
I've never seen one before, no one has, but I believe it's a LEGO full-body spinner.
From Arkansas in the USA, Cletus.
The lightest robot in the series, Cletus will fight for the South to rise again with its vicious-looking drum.
From Telford in the West Midlands, Diabolical Toothpick.
At 2.5 miles an hour, Diabolical Toothpick is the fastest in the field, armed with a spectacular-looking crushing beak.
From Brighton, Fabulous Jeff.
By far the most colourful-looking robot competing tonight, Fabulous Jeff will be beating tolerance into its foes with its rainbow bar.
From California in the USA, Duck.
The second American in the field tonight, Duck will be whipping up a real ducknado with its overhead lifter. Here's how they line up tonight. The Hillbilly Drum of Cletus will be taking on the vicious-looking bonker of Nalego. The googly-eyed shuffler of Sweepy squares up against King B Cubed. The prideful Fabulous Jeff has the equally colourful Diabolical Toothpick for company. And finally, the full-body spinner of Whitehall will aim to crack open the duck. Let's pass on to our commentator Anderson and get stuck in.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
So it's the first battle of the series. We have Cletus versus Nalego. Cletus with that drum spinner, hoping to cause some sort of damage. It's got a flat top though, so if Nalego can get that hammer in the right places, it could cause some serious damage. Oh, speaking of damage, one of the ears has come off of Nalego straight away. Straight away damage caused to Nalego, although that ear is now hindering Cletus as it was. Cletus managing to bat it away and taking off more of Nalego's side panels. The other ear just completely... the other ear's fallen off on its own accord. Well, that's good, I suppose. Great building job there. I'm kidding, of course. I couldn't build anything like this. This is a good fight so far, though. Cletus trying to bring that drum in. Bad driving by Cletus. They're driving into the side wall. Nalego's trying to bring that hammer down and does so. Not causing great damage, but counts for aggression, I'm certain. Who's in control of this fight? Who's got the more control, I wonder? Maybe Nalego, because Cletus is driving. It's horrendous! He keeps driving into the side wall! And it's failing to get that drum into play. We haven't really seen much of that drum. A bit of damage has been done to the top now. Look as well, you can see pieces of armour being knocked loose by the hammer of Nalego. Nalego driving forwards. Are they okay? The hammer seems to be a little bit limp. Oh no, it's okay. It's come back. Down comes the hammer again. Oh, driving into the side wall again there. Remember, the winner of this fight goes through. Nalego just not. She's done more damage to herself. Cletus has hit the pit button, so maybe they're confident they can get them down the pit. And that was the first time we really saw the drum come into action, and it's absolutely caved in one of the sides of Nalego. Now that will definitely be something the judges have been looking out for. Something's come off the back though of Cletus. Nalego now pushing Cletus back towards the pit. Oh! And Cletus down! What a surprise! Out of nowhere, Nalego, after taking all the damage throughout the fight, have come back to win it. What a victory for Nalego! Well, Cletus was definitely the stronger robot throughout as far as damage was concerned. Although, to be fair, Nalego sort of fell apart most of the fight. Nalego tried to bring the bonker in. It didn't really do much apart from there, look. The top panel started coming loose on Cletus. Cletus seemed to have control issues throughout. They couldn't really get their drum involved. As you can see, they spent most of the fight with their drum facing away until that moment. And I honestly thought they had the fight won there upon destroying the entire side of Nelly. But then Nelly, out of nowhere, managing to control Cletus into the pit. Nelly go through to the next round. Got a lot of repair to do, though. Hopefully they can fix it in time.
That was a smashing fight to start the series. Now we move on to our second fight of the night between King B Cubed and Sweepy.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Now King B Cubed will start as the favourite for this. It is the quicker of the two machines. It's got the 4-wheel drive, the push, the experience. Those lifting forks coming in. Sweepy though, don't count them out. They've got that nasty looking bar spinner. Very similar to Apex, the reboot robot was. Competitor, goodness me! And it's got some power behind it. Look at that, causing damage straight away to the lifting forks of King B Cubed. But King B Cubed has got the pushing power. It's got a lot of speed, a lot of traction, and not a lot of control by the looks of it. He's driving straight into the side wall. That was not good. Look at Sweepy trying to keep up. I'll be honest, I've got a lot of respect for shufflers and walkers. I think they're great fun. I really, really love them. But more damage being done there to the lifting forks of King B Cubed. And more damage being done as well to King B Cubed thanks to that bar spinner of Sweepy's. It may be a bit of an unassuming robot because of its way of motion, really, but it's got a very deadly spinner, hasn't it? A death march almost, and there's bits and pieces. Oh! Well! For a minute there, I was going to say there's bits and pieces of King B Cubed everywhere, but they've just lost some of their legs now, Sweepy, so will that affect them, I wonder? Both robots have taken severe damage in this fight, so it could really be anyone's at this point. I'd say King B's the more aggressive, it's definitely the quicker, it's definitely the more controlled of these two. That is without question. Then again, a walker like Sweepy is hard to control, especially when it's got a great big spinner on the front of it. Damage, I'm not too sure. Sweepy's done the more damage, but it's sustained some serious damage itself. King B, I was saying he was well controlled, and then it goes and drives into the sidewall. Great stuff. Shows what I know, really, doesn't it? Again, I swear they hired me 20 minutes ago. This is a really tough battle here, and if it was to go to the judges, well, I think now maybe that damage will be enough. King B Cubed has hit the pit button, yes, but look at the front wheel. It has been completely ripped out of the robot. And I'm not too sure how mobile they are. They are still going somehow. So fair play to them for that. Look at it. Oh dear. It's just dragging its poor broken body around. I think the other front wheel's a little bit buckled too. Sweepy trying to catch up with them. King B in all sorts of problems here. They've been absolutely mullered by that spinner of Sweepy. Sweepy, I would have to argue, is winning the fight just on damage alone. Look at the front wheels now of King B Cubed. Oh dear, one's been completely ripped away now. But in all honesty, I think that's made their traction and drive a little bit more controlled. I'm not too sure. King B Cubed trying to come back. This is going to go to the judges. Time is ticking down. And they're going to have a fun one trying to figure out who's won this one, let me tell you. Good fight, lots of damage. Let's go to the judges. And they will have a tough decision on their hands. King B Cubed starting the strongest, definitely. And I'm wondering there, the locomotion of Sweepy became damaged, but they then started coming back strongly, tearing off both of King B Cubed's front wheels. And by the end of it, King B Cubed was barely mobile and severely destroyed. And that will definitely count against it. Look there at the damage caused. Jesus.
And the winner by unanimous decision is Sweepy. Congratulations to Sweepy for that destructive display. Now we have the vibrant bar of Fabulous Jeff taking on the crusher of Diabolical Toothpick.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
So it's Fabulous Jeff versus Diabolical Toothpick. If there was an award for best named robot, I think both these two would be up for that award. Let's be real now. And Diabolical Toothpick grabbing a hold of Fabulous Jeff straight away, getting a hold of its tyre. Fabulous Jeff struggling to spin up to speed here with that spinner, not showing much control either. So far, Diabolical Toothpick by far in command. Goodness me, though, that was a good attack there by Diabolical Toothpick, using their wedge to stop the spinner of Fabulous Jeff, which just has not got going. It seems to have problems here. Either it can move forwards without a weapon, or its weapon moves and it doesn't. They seem to be having all sorts of control issues. They haven't got that weapon up to speed, and Diabolical Toothpick bringing the crusher in on the mechanism for that spinner. What damage is being done there? Does that chain look loose? It does to me from this angle. And this is definitely Diabolical Toothpick's fight so far. Grabbing a hold of them. Fabulous Jeff, of course, very similar to BattleBots Legends Tombstone. You can also say they look a bit like Rainbow from BattleBots as well. Diabolical Toothpick, good tactics there. Driving into the pit button, dropping the pit down. We know that they can get underneath and push Fabulous Jeff. We know that they can grab a hold of them, and I think their tactic now is to get a hold of them and push them down the pit. Fabulous Jeff, their spinner is just not working, is it? And their control is just all over the place. Nice sit and spin attack, hoping that might do some damage. I'm not too sure how much that's going to do, really, if I'm 100% honest. And there's the chain, look! The chain has come loose. That's exactly what I thought happened earlier. The chain had come loose. That's why the spinner's not working. And that means now they are a weaponless machine out there versus a wedge crusher. And there's only really one place for them, and that's the pit. Surely, if Diabolical Toothpick can get a good hold of them, can maybe drive them down that pit. Reversing, trying their hardest with the crusher, but they've completely missed. Okay, well, aim isn't their best game, obviously. Bless them for trying, though. Oh dear, but poor Fabulous Jeff. We never even saw that spinner get into action. And Diabolical Toothpick just have to get underneath and shove them towards the pit. And I thought for a minute they were going to drive themselves in. But they were able to put on the anchor. Good driving there by Diabolical Toothpick, getting behind Fabulous Jeff, shoving it into the sidewall, bringing the crusher in down on the top, trying to grab a hold of it so they can drag it down the pit. Oh, goodness me, and again. Oh, they like flirting with danger, don't they? Diabolical Toothpick and Fabulous Jeff were quite close to driving themselves down as well. Control, I don't think, is the strongest point of either of these two robots if it goes to the judges. But I think on damage alone and aggression, this is Fabulous Toothpick, so it doesn't really matter who wins control. Oh, unless of course it wins loud and round. It is going to go to the judges by the looks of things as well. We're into the final few moments of this fight, so it has gone the distance, which is a surprise to me. But I'm not too sure it's going to take the judges too long to decide who goes through. But then again, I'm not a judge, and I wouldn't want to be in half the situations either. It just all went wrong straight away for Fabulous Jeff, really. It barely got going. That charge there from Diabolical Toothpick immobilised the weapon, breaking the belt. Down came the claw as well, doing all sorts of damage to the mechanism. And Fabulous Jeff just could not get their weapon back up and running after that. Diabolical Toothpick using good tactics throughout, good control, good aggression for the most part. Good driving here as well, slamming them into the sidewall. Looking back at this, that's really the only thing that went against Diabolical Toothpick. The rest of this fight was theirs.
And the winner by unanimous decision is Diabolical Toothpick. After that tense fight, we move on to tonight's final matchup between the spinning shell of White Hole against the Californian duck.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
I think this fight's going to be a whole lot of white noise. Haha! They don't pay me for those puns, and again, they don't pay me at all. So we have White Hole, the full-body spinner, versus Duck known as a spinner resistor or a spinner absorber, depending on how you want to name it. And they're getting that beak underneath White Hole straight away, and White Hole have had the shell lifted up. Look! That shell has been disconnected, which means it will not spin anymore. And that's a problem, because that means they now have no weapon. Well, that is a shame. Oh, one of the wheels has come off as well. Hang on, is Duck moving? Is Duck moving? Or have they completely immobilised themselves already? Oh wait, no, they flicked themselves. Yep, they're okay. They seem to be struggling to run upside down, which is a bit surprising. They're usually invertible Duck, so that is a shame to see. Getting that lifter underneath the shell once again though of White Hole, trying to lift that shell off. Trying to de-shell it entirely. It's like a hermit crab in a shell that's too small for its body. Oh dear. Poor White Hole. That looked like such an interesting design as well. It's a shame we're not really going to get to see it in action! In this fight at least, but Duck have broke their flipper and have once again flick themselves over, and once again they are struggling to run upside down. So could Whitehole somehow win this? No, Duck managing to right themselves. So they are still okay, getting the beak in underneath. Whitehole trying to de-shell them again. Whitehole are in all sorts of trouble here. Oh dear, look again, look at Duck. Have you ever seen a duck with its face caved in? I know I haven't. Hey, the shell's gone. So it's completely naked now. The pit button's been pressed by Duck. And I think Whitehole's going to go down into that pit any second now. Or is it? I'm not really too sure. Is that Whitehole's real weaponry? Its shell's meant to be a snagging device. It doesn't matter. It's down the pit. Courtesy of Duck. Good victory there. Well done to them. Well, it was over really before it even started. Duck slammed into them, got their beak in underneath, and with one foul swoop managed to disconnect that shell. Then their wheel fell off, and that meant their entire control seemed to get lost. And after that, it was only a matter of time until Duck flicked them over and flicked the shell off. Even if they did manage to do some serious damage to themselves, getting stuck on their back, they're going to have to look into that for the future. And they did do themselves some serious damage to their weaponry, but they were eventually able to de-shell Whitehole and eventually shove them down the pit. Duck go through.
With that exciting fight, we end tonight's proceedings. We've seen wins for Nelego, Sweepy, Diabolical Toothpick, and Duck, with each of them earning a place in the quarterfinals. Join us next time as we find out who will meet them there. For now though, I've been your host David of Smeg, and we'll see you in the next one.